Hey everyone, it's Dr. Guthals here, and I have a sneak peek to one of our new features coming out for teachers soon. So on my screen, you'll see that I have two windows. I have one on the left, which has some like blockly things down here at the bottom, and then it has a bunch of little squares here at the top. Now, each of these squares is a student in one of our classes. I happen to have one of our students here logged into this other window here on the right. So let me just kind of explain to you what's happening. On the left, this is the teacher account. You'll see that I have 10 students who are currently not logged in or doing anything. And then I have one student, Steve, this is Steve's account over here on the right. Steve, who is inactive. So he's logged into LearnToMod, he's logged into my class, but he hasn't been doing anything for a while, and that's why his little icon is red. I can see what he's doing by clicking on this little eyeball. In terms of code, I can see what he's doing. He's not really doing anything. Now, I can pretend to be Steve over here, and I can decide to go do some badges. So I'm going to go in here and do some Voxel badges. So maybe I'll write my first mod. I'll click on the write my first mod badge. It loads up just like normal. You'll see the badge over here and the steps on the side, and Voxel's loading right here, and then I have all of my blockly blocks here on the left. Now, Steve is a very lucky fellow because he's got a lot of cats in his world. They're going to be falling from the sky any minute. So if you see a bunch of cats, oh, look, there they are. That's because he's done a lot of coding, and so he bought cats in the artifact store. That's not what's interesting to us as teachers, though, playing with cats and making them fall over. I love these little tumble cats. What's interesting to us is if they're writing code. So let's have Steve write some code. He's going to make a main function. If you notice, immediately, right when Steve started writing code, his icon on the left turned green. That's because he's currently active. It's kind of hard to tell right now, but as Steve stops doing anything, so you can see Steve isn't doing anything with code over here. We can have him kind of run around. You'll notice that the icon goes from a bright, bright green to a darker green, darker, darker, until it'll finally turn red. This is kind of a scale indicator for us teachers as to whether or not our students are working. And so you can already see that the indicator is darker green. And that way a student can't just add one block every 10 minutes and get away with it. So you'll notice when it turns a brighter green, right when I start to interact with code. So we're gonna click on Minecraft players send message block, and it's a bright, bright green over here. Now, I'm lucky because I'm playing both the teacher and Steve, and so I can see exactly what Steve is doing over here. But if I were the actual teacher, then I might be sitting in the front or the back of the class, and I might want to see what my students are working on. So I can click on this little eyeball, and their code pops up down here. So this is Steve's code right here. And let's say that Steve is trying to send a message to me, and that message is, and this isn't me, the teacher, this is me, Steve. The message is hello world. You can see that it is automatically, immediately updating here on the left, on the teacher's screen. This is really, really great because let's say that Steve accidentally made a mistake. So let's say that Steve, instead of putting hello world to me, they did, I don't know, let's say a pig, or was trying to do a pig. Okay, and it's not working. Then me, as the teacher, I could say, oh, see, Steve has a question, and I can go into here and I can say, well, it looks like you have an error. You have an extra pig block, and really you need the me block. They can come over here, oops, and delete that pig block and put in that me block. Great. Now, as the teacher, I can just go ahead and remove things, and that does not affect Steve's code. You can see Steve's code right here. And if I'm watching, then anything that I changed or removed will get automatically updated. If I exit out of Steve's world and Steve, modifies this, then I can look at it again and it'll be automatically modified. This is a new feature that we are still prototyping here at LearnToMod, but we're really, really excited about, because then as a teacher, you'll be able to see all of your students all at once. You'll be able to see whether or not they're coding, and if they are coding, you can pop in and see what they're doing. And this little phone icon is something that we aren't going to release right away, but is a chance for you to pop your head in and actually talk to them, video chat. It's going to be really, really neat. This will allow for long distance learning, online tutoring, things like that. But for just the general classroom, you'll get to at least see your students code and help them out without having to walk around to every single, table. The great thing is that if everyone's having the same problem, you can see that, and then you can do a lesson on it. So this has been one of our new teacher features for LearnToMod. This is a sneak peek to our teacher dashboard. I hope you like it. Let us know what you think.